You know that sinking feeling, right? You spent $1,000, maybe $2,000 on that cutting-edge 4K TV 3 years ago. The picture is still gorgeous, but the brain inside it is suffering from dementia. You press the home button and you wait. You click Netflix and it stutters. Suddenly, your premium living room centerpiece feels like a budget tablet from 2014. And the worst part? The TV manufacturers want you to think the hardware is dead. They want you to haul that perfectly good panel to the curb just because the $5 processor they glued to the motherboard can't keep up with the latest software update. Don't do it. Put your wallet away. We are not buying a new TV today. Instead, we're going to perform a brain transplant. For less than $100, sometimes less than $50, we can bypass that sluggish, ad-infested operating system and make your TV faster than the day you bought it. Hi, this is Chris Walker. We're about to fix your setup, save you $1,000, and make the big brands angry. And hey, if you appreciate honest reviews that prioritize your bank account over corporate hype, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. It's the only way we can keep buying these units with our own money to tell you the truth about them. Here's the dirty little secret the big manufacturers, LG, Samsung, Sony, don't put on the box. When you buy a TV, you aren't actually paying for the hardware anymore. Not really. The profit margins on panels have razor-thinned down to almost nothing. So how do they make their money? They monetize you. They turn your living room into a billboard. They overload the operating system with data tracking software, ad servers, and bloated visual layers that the budget processor inside simply cannot handle. It's like trying to run a modern video game on a calculator. That's why your TV felt snappy in the showroom, but feels like it's wading through molasses 6 months later. It's not broken, it's just busy selling your viewing habits to advertisers while you wait for YouTube to load.
The fix is to bypass that internal brain entirely. We treat the TV as a dumb monitor, just a display panel, and we plug in a dedicated brain that has one job: streaming media fast. And if we're talking about the one-and-done fix, the device you buy if you just want things to work without needing an IT degree, we have to start with the new Roku Ultra. This isn't the little stick you hide behind the TV. This is a dedicated console, and that matters for one big reason: thermal management. Those little sticks, they get hot. When they get hot, they throttle, they slow down. The Ultra sits on your media center, stays cool, and maintains top speed even if you're binge-watching 4K HDR content for 6 hours straight. The 2024 refresh claims to be 30% faster than the previous model. In my testing, it feels instant. You click, it opens. That cognitive load, that tiny micro frustration you feel every time your TV lags, it just vanishes. It supports Wi-Fi 6, which is crucial if your router is on the other side of the house. But more importantly, it has an Ethernet port. If you can wire this thing in, do it. It eliminates buffering, period. But the real reason this beats your TV isn't the processor, it's the remote. This is the Roku Voice Remote Pro Edition 2, and it solves the two biggest arguments in every household. Number one, it's backlit. As soon as you pick it up in a dark room, the keys glow. You aren't squinting or flashing your phone light to find the volume rocker. And number two, the lost remote finder. There is a button on the Roku box itself. You press it, and the remote starts chirping from inside the couch. It sounds silly until you need it, and then it feels like magic. Plus, it's rechargeable via USB-C. No more hunting for AA batteries at 11 p.m. The interface is boring, and I mean that as a massive compliment. It's a grid of apps. That's it. It's not trying to force-feed you the latest superhero movie you don't care about. It just gets out of your way. For parents, for non-tech-savvy partners, or just for people who value their sanity, this is the $99 peace of mind tax.
So, the Roku Ultra is the safe bet. It works, it's polished, and it respects your time. But I know a lot of you out there are power users. You want to sideload apps. You want deep smart home integration. Or maybe you just hate the Fisher-Price look of the Roku menu.
Before we dive into the Google and Apple ecosystems, I need to hear from you guys. I'm planning the review slate for the next 3 months. Do you want me to do a dedicated soundbar versus AV receiver shootout? Or maybe a deep dive into budget 4K projectors? Drop a comment right now with exactly what products or headaches you want me to tackle. I read the comments for the first 48 hours, and I build these scripts based on what you need, not what the algorithm wants. Okay, let's talk about the new kid on the block that's trying to kill the dongle. This is the Google TV streamer. Google has officially killed the Chromecast brand. No more dangling dongles. This is a set-top box designed to sit out in the open. Why the shape change? Again, heat dissipation, but also antennas. This thing is trying to be more than just a movie player. It wants to be the hub of your smart home. It has a thread border router built in. If you don't know what that means, basically it makes your smart lights, locks, and sensors react instantly instead of taking 3 seconds to turn on. If you are building a smart home, this $99 box just saved you from buying a separate $50 hub. The interface is Google TV. It's smarter than Roku, but it's also pushier. It uses AI to aggregate content from all your apps, Netflix, Disney+, Hulu, into one For You page. When it works, it's brilliant. You don't open apps, you just click the show. But it is getting heavier on the ads. You will see recommendations that are clearly paid placements. It's nowhere near as bad as the Fire TV interface, which is basically a shopping mall kiosk at this point, but it's not the Zen garden that Roku offers.
They fixed the remote though. The volume buttons are finally on the front, not the side. It has a customizable star button you can map to open your favorite app or view your Nest doorbell camera. It feels good, solid. But here is where it gets weird, and this is the part Google probably doesn't want me to highlight too loudly. Everything I just told you about the Google TV streamer, the 4K HDR, the Dolby Atmos, the Google TV interface, the hands-free voice control, what if I told you you could get 95% of that performance for half the price? This is the ON 4K Pro. It's the in-house brand from Walmart. I know, Walmart electronics usually sounds like a warning label, but this box is a glitch in the matrix. It costs $50, half the price of the Roku Ultra or the Google Streamer, and yet it has hands-free Google Assistant. You can just say, "Hey Google, find my remote," without touching anything. It has Wi-Fi 6, it has an Ethernet port, it runs the exact same operating system as the $100 Google box. I ran the benchmarks. Is the chipset slightly older? Yes. Does it have the thread radio for smart home stuff? No. So if you need a smart home hub, stick with Google. But if you just want to watch Severance or Stranger Things in 4K Dolby Vision, the experience is virtually identical. And get this, the ON remote is backlit. A $50 device with a backlit remote and a lost remote finder function. Google's $100 box doesn't even have a backlit remote. Let that sink in. Walmart is out-engineering Google on the basic creature comforts that actually matter to normal people. So, we have the peace of mind Roku, the smart home Google streamer, and the budget disruptor ON. But we haven't talked about the elephant in the room. The device that costs more than all of them, but claims to be in a totally different league. The device that people say is overkill until they actually use it. If you have an iPhone, you already know where this is going. But even if you use Android, you need to see why this next box might actually be the best value of them all, even at $150. This is the Apple TV 4K 3rd Gen. And right now, half of you are rolling your eyes because it costs $130, and the other half are nodding because you already know it's the only device in this pile that respects your intelligence. Here's the truth. This isn't a streaming stick. It's a supercomputer disguised as a hockey puck. Inside, it's running an A15 Bionic chip, the same processor that powered the iPhone 13 Pro. That is wildly, hilariously overkill for playing Netflix. But that overkill is the point. Because it has so much horsepower, it never stutters. Ever. You click, it happens. You scrub through a 4K timeline and the preview frames load instantly. It feels like the video is stored locally on the device, not streaming from a server in Virginia. But the real reason you pay the Apple tax? The silence. There are no ads on the home screen. There are no sponsored recommendations for detergents or insurance. It's just your apps. Apple makes its money on the hardware, not by selling your eyeballs to advertisers. If you value a calm living room, that alone is worth the extra $50. But here is the gotcha they hide in the fine print. Do not buy the $129 version. It sounds like a deal, but it's a trap. The base model does not have an Ethernet port. It is Wi-Fi only. To get the wire, which you need for bulletproof 4K, you have to buy the $149 version with 128 gigabytes of storage. It's a hidden tax, and it's annoying, but if you're going premium, pay the extra $20. Do not rely on Wi-Fi if you don't have to. Now, take everything I just said about calm and clean, throw it in a blender, and set it on fire. That is the Fire TV Stick 4K Max Gen 2. This stick is technically a marvel. It has Wi-Fi 6E, which is faster than the Google streamer, and it costs about $60, sometimes $40 on Prime Day. The hardware is genuinely powerful, but you aren't the customer here. You are the product.
The interface is a billboard. It is aggressive. It autoplays trailers. It prioritizes Amazon Prime content above everything else. If you live in the Amazon ecosystem, if you have Ring cameras, Echo Dots, and Prime Video, this device is a steal. It integrates beautifully. The ambient experience turns your TV into an art gallery when you aren't using it, which is actually a really nice touch borrowed from those expensive Samsung frame TVs. But you have to accept the trade-off. You are getting flagship performance at a budget price because you are agreeing to look at ads. If you can tune them out, it's the best bang-for-buck performance stick on the market. If you hate clutter, it will drive you insane. And then there is the legend, the Zombie King, the Nvidia Shield TV Pro. This device came out in 2019. In tech years, that is ancient. It runs a chip from the Nintendo Switch era, and yet it is still $200, and it is still the undisputed king for one specific group of people, the home theater nerds. If you rip your own 4K Blu-rays, if you run a Plex server, if you spent $5,000 on a sound system and you want lossless Dolby Atmos, not the compressed streaming Atmos you get from Netflix, but the full uncompressed studio master track, this is the only device that handles it properly without sweating. The AI upscaling, where it takes 1080p video and sharpens it to 4K, is still the best in the industry. It's magic. But for 99% of you watching this, do not buy it. It doesn't support the AV1 codec used by YouTube and Netflix for efficient streaming. It lacks HDR10 Plus support in some apps. It is a Ferrari engine in a 1990s chassis. Unless you know exactly why you need it, save your money. Now, before we get to the final verdict, we have to talk about the invisible failure. I see this in the comments every day. Chris, I bought the Roku Ultra, but my screen is flickering. Or the Dolby Vision logo isn't popping up. It's your cable. You are trying to push 18 gigabytes of data per second through a cable you found in a drawer from 2014. It's like trying to push a fire hose through a drinking straw. When you buy these devices, spend the extra $12 on a certified ultra-high-speed HDMI 2.1 cable. If it doesn't have the holographic QR code on the box, put it back.
And check your audio settings. By default, many of these devices are set to PCM or stereo. You have to manually go into the settings and switch audio to pass-through or bitstream. Otherwise, that expensive soundbar you bought is just playing loud stereo and you don't even know it. Okay, we've looked at the safe bet, the smart hub, the budget miracle, the premium splurge, and the ad-supported bargain. You have a choice to make. And frankly, for most of you, there is one clear winner that makes the other options look irrelevant. But there is also a specific device I would tell my own grandma to buy, and they aren't the same thing. Let's break it down. So let's stop the noise. You have 6 options, but in reality, you only have 3 choices. Everything else is just marketing fluff. Here is the breakdown based on who you actually are. Profile 1, the I just want to watch TV user. If you are buying this for your parents, your grandparents, or you just want a remote that works every single time without menus that look like a spaceship control panel, buy the Roku Ultra 2024. It is the Toyota Camry of streaming. It isn't sexy, it isn't trying to change the world, but it starts every morning. The lost remote finder will save your marriage, and the interface will never confuse you. It is the only device on this table that I can mail to my dad without a tech support call 3 days later. That peace of mind is worth the $99. Profile 2, the quality snob. If you have an OLED TV, if you care about frame rates, if you hate ads with a burning passion, if you are already in the Apple ecosystem, or honestly, even if you're not, get the Apple TV 4K. Yes, it is $150. Yes, the remote is a bit slippery, but the A15 chip inside means this box will still be fast in 2030. Every other device on this table will be e-waste in 3 years. The Apple TV is an investment. It is the only experience that feels luxury. Just remember, buy the Ethernet version. Do not buy the Wi-Fi only model. Do not let them trick you. Profile 3, the smart shopper. This is for the rest of you. You want 4K, you want Dolby Vision, you want voice control, but you refuse to pay the Apple tax and you think $100 for a Roku is a bit steep.
Get the ON 4K Pro from Walmart. I cannot believe I am saying this, but it is the best value in home theater right now, period. It is 95% of the performance of the Google streamer for 50% of the price. It beats the Fire Stick because it has real ports and a better interface. It beats the basic Rokus on speed. Unless you need that thread radio for a complex smart home setup, there is zero reason to buy the $100 Google box over this $50 beast. So here's the final verdict. The best overall, Apple TV 4K 128 gig Ethernet. It is the king. It respects you. It has no ads. It's faster than your laptop. If you can afford it, buy it and never look back. The best value, ON 4K Pro. It's the disruptor. It embarrasses the legacy brands. For $50, it is the absolute best way to revive an old TV on a budget. The truth bomb. Look, here's the reality. Your smart TV is going to die. The screen will be fine, but the software will rot. It'll get slow, insecure, and annoying. The manufacturers want you to upgrade the whole TV. Don't let them win. Keep your panel. Buy a dedicated brain. Keep them separate. That's how you stay in control of your living room. I've dropped links to the specific versions of these devices down below. Not the older models, not the light versions that lag. The exact units we tested here that actually work. If you use those links, it helps support the channel and keeps us independent, so we can keep buying this stuff and telling you the truth about it. If this saved you from buying a new TV today, hit that like button. It helps more than you know. I'm Chris Walker. Enjoy your new TV. I'll see you in the next one.